Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Video Games and Nonsense podcast with Chase Carter. And
Raymond Woods.
we're just here to talk about basically.
It's your boy.
Oh, God. Please do not start. I will quit right now.
I
It's
will
your
quit.
boy. Anytime a YouTube video starts out that way, I'd stop. I don't watch it.
Delete. Unfollow.
Nope, never
Down.
again.
Dislike.
Mute user. It's your boy. 260 lightning quick. Oh God!
Lightning
But
quick. I
anyways,
wonder if they have it even.
so there's a few things. So we're going to talk about what we're playing and a few video game news items at the rear end of the podcast.
Rear end.
I knew you'd like that word. So Ray, what have you been playing? What have you?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, you're back into it now. Okay.
I don't know, man. Look, I don't know. I had to change of heart. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay. Have you? Okay. How far have you gotten? Because I don't want to, any spoilers.
Don't do any like mains. We're not talking about the.
Okay, if you haven't been at this part, then no one. Then it's if you haven't been to that part yet, that I want to say, then.
Well, so something in the story made the game better for you, or
no. Well, no.
Open up because like the alliance thing, I like the alliances. Like
yes,
they all have their little story.
Yes, those are really, 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 really good.
Yeah. I just
good.
I just finished the Dane, the first Dane one that you had the south in Bridge
Grandin Bridge or something like that. Yeah,
Grant's Bridge or whatever.
Grant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was really cool where you help out a leader and then regain a city that she lost, and then
Soma.
Yeah, Soma. She lost the city, but then how she lost the city, she was betrayed by her inner circle.
Yeah.
And there's 3 people you have to like kind of investigate.
You actually have to investigate. It took me forever.
I know.
It took me forever.
It did. Like I just love getting into this game and just diving deep into it because they don't tell you where to go and what to do.
I had to look it up. Like I was literally sitting there for like an hour. I'm like, dude, I don't know where to go. I have to look this up. I had to follow it. I didn't like just have it give me answers. Like I literally followed the guy, whoever I was watching, and he's like, oh no, you're here, and like he did it himself, and then I just kind of follow along, and it still took me. I'm like, oh man,
it was really cool.
Yeah.
The part, and this is just like a really small part of the story. Like this is not the overall arcing plot of the story, but this is just to get alliances on the land, so then you can do the main overall arching story. But I liked how you had to ask people around the city like what they saw, and you actually had to listen to them because they said, oh, up northeast of the river.
Yeah.
And it did not.
I saw this one person go to here, and then I saw another person go here, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you look into that. You have to look into it.
It's not like a cutscene where you don't listen, and then at the end it tells you exactly where to go.
Yeah.
You have to listen. It's like, it's south of Bruchmeyer or whatever. So you have to actually find Bruchmeyer and then go south, and you're like, okay, maybe it's in this little area. And that's what happened. It's I wasn't paying full attention, and I remember them saying something about in the swamp, like find evidence or whatever in the swamp. And then after I talked to everybody, and then I thought it was the girl at first because of her love.
Her love for Soma.
Yeah. And then she freaked out. And then so I'm like, obviously. And then the shipwright, the guy who builds the ships.
Yeah. With the paint and all. Yeah, it's cool because even if you get all that evidence of all of that, it's still circumstantial. So you're like, there's no hard evidence. And then when you do it more and more, and you find out that you finished it, right? You finished it.
Well, I think I got the right answer. I finished it, and then I went back to my settlement and said, "Hey, we got the."
Well, did you continue? Did you find that one ship that was painted? Because if you go
yellow, painted it yellow, and that was that guy's ship, the Gillian.
Gillian, and then the where the ship was painted, and then it showed where they ran, and then it showed where you saved Gillen when he was on top of that tower, and the wolves were there. He was surrounded by the wolves. That's where he was after that ship. And then that's when so it was him. It had to have been him. That right there is hard evidence. I mean, there's really nothing else to investigate as far as I know. So
yeah, and he was like by himself. He was the only one that didn't have an alibi.
He's the only one that didn't have an alibi. Yeah,
and you're like, but then you honestly don't know for sure.
Yeah, even then you're like,
you make this decision, and you're like, I know for sure it probably was the shipwright probably didn't steal his own paint.
But then, how is it? Is it really such a coincidence that his ship was there? It was his ship that was painted, and then you follow that trail, and he ended up there. Like, how else would he have gotten there? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like
Yeah.
that'd be really convenient for him to. Oh, I know. I came here some other way.
But then part of me thinks like because it was just like a random group of bandits that attacked him, right? It wasn't anything.
And you don't really have motive.
Well,
I mean, you kind of do. You kind of do.
Because of his dreams. His dream about like.
Was he the one that didn't like how? No, I think that was a painter who didn't like how Soma ran things.
Yeah, certain decisions, but he was always like for her. But
he was still respectful about it.
Yeah, the Gillian guy.
He had the visions and shit. He was obsessed with like the visions.
Him and the Soma on balancing on a dagger, and there could only be like one leader or whatever. They were.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, so he's thinking that he like one of them has to go. Like in his head, he prophesied it or whatever in his head.
And it's really cool because you actually have to use detective skills. Like you actually have to use because I remember going back to Psych. What they did, because they weren't detectives. They didn't, they didn't.
A TV show.
Yeah, yes. Okay, listen. They said the 5 W's: why, what, where, when, and how. Like so and that's basically what
does that mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, like where the crime took place, what was the crime, why they did it, motive, okay. Why, what, where, when, and when it took place, and how they did it.
Well, how's a W? Or H?
No, I know, but it's that like you don't remember that from school?
Is that like a joke? Like in the
that's
the who, what, when, where, why. But that's 4.
Yeah, and then like that's 4, and then the how, like it's the 4 W's and the H, but they just say the 5 W's. You don't remember that in school? You really don't remember that in school?
5 W's? No, 5. No, who, what, when, where, why. I remember that. I don't hear about it.
Who, what, when, where, and why. Yeah, 5 W's, and then you have the H.
Maybe it's like because it's a comedy show. They're like
they're like that moment. That moment they were actually trying to figure it out.
Okay.
They're like, and Sean, he said that out loud. And he's like, and then so but that it's true. Like if you're not an actual detective, like you kind of go back to the basics. Okay, well, why did they do it? How did they do it? When did they do it?
Yeah, and it made you as a player think about it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well,
read it on like a checkoff list, like a task list or whatever in the game.
So that's where I went back to, and that's how that's for me at least. That's how I came down to the conclusion that it was Gillian. And so. But okay, so let me get to why I necessarily wasn't. I wouldn't say not enjoying the game, but what turned me off to it. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. It's not that big. Have you been to Asgard yet?
No, I've literally done the.
All it is, it's not really a spoiler. All you do is just you drink a potion and then you go to sleep and then you wake up in Asgard. I do not like Asgard at all. The place is cool. It's really, really pretty. But for me, it has nothing to do with the story. Absolutely nothing. It's a complete turnoff. The jokes are lame. I'm telling you, that is what completely, I don't know why, it just completely turned me off to the game. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I don't understand. Like, I can't. I can't do it. Like you might like it. I don't know. But for me, like I said, I was in the story and it's funny because I didn't realize, I forgot. Well, no, I knew there were alliances, but I didn't realize there were so many. And I thought I had to progress through the story through Asgard. So I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And then I went back and beat it. And then I thought, okay, now I'll get more of the regular storyline. But then Dylan and Rick are like, no, you can still do Alliance. I was like, oh my God, thank the Lord, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
because
Alliances are awesome. Just the way that they're like they're not the main story arc or whatever, but they're part of it. You know what I mean? They like support it.
No, yeah, I've done at least like 3 or 4 a lot, dude. I'm at like 46 hours in this game, and I'm like a power level like 126. That's it. And then she goes up like the 340, dude. Like I'm okay, I can't even. But so that right there, and I have to kind of tell you because that, like I said, that for me, I'm not into that part of the story. Like,
Now,
it's
is it
just
so you take a potion, and is he actually going to Asgard? Is Asgard a real
no,
physical
it's
place?
like a dream or what
Oh,
the
okay,
fuck ever. It's yeah,
okay,
it's
that makes sense.
like
That's fine. It's
no,
not
that's
real.
fine. It's that right there is
If you
fine. That
somehow
part
find
of
Thor's hammer and then you bring it back to real life, or like
nope. See, that's the thing.
maybe
No,
it's in a
that's
real
at
thing.
least for me.
I saw some.
That's not how you get Thor's hammer,
Yeah, I saw some like YouTube video. I didn't want to
which
click
is
on.
odd.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you get Thor's hammer, or like what you think is Thor's hammer. But then does it, if it has actual magical powers in the game, I'm not going to use it. I want
yeah, I don't think it does. I think it's
no.
just
I don't know.
I don't. But
The picture it had like him holding up the thing with like lightning hitting it, but I don't know if that was like,
maybe that's a certain ability that you get with it.
I don't know. All I know is I was like in Assassin's Creed 3, I really enjoyed it until you turned into a bird, like a spirit animal. They did the whole Native American. He
Well,
turns
that I kind of understand that because of
turns
Native Americans, they really believe in that kind of
he turns
stuff. You know
into
what
a
I'm
bear,
saying?
but
Like,
like
that's part of their culture.
it shouldn't affect the real world. That's how you
Mm,
that's how you could traverse the world, is
yeah.
by flying as an actual bird and then popping in and out of existence as a human and a bird. And I'm like, you just told me this whole, like the whole franchise is kind of realism. Like everything you grab onto is actually like out in the world. I remember.
Well, I mean, well, not really because with Desmond, like they had the apple of Eden, and that was supernatural. You see what I'm saying? So like it kind of makes sense that they went.
Well, that wasn't supernatural. That was to me, it wasn't anyway, because they explained it with an advanced civilization in the past that died off. So that was like, say if we all died off and you left a cell phone and someone found it or whatever, that would be deemed as magical. You know what I mean? Like I look at it at that level. So all the Desmond stuff, if that was, human beings
It's just technology.
in the past that like went to a certain level, and then that catastrophe happened with the sun. I can't remember what, a solar flare or whatever it was,
Yeah,
killed them off and they're dead. And then we were, whatever, primates or whatever. And then we kind of evolved, or we were their pets, I believe. And we somehow survived, but they didn't. I can't remember exactly the whole
I
story.
know. Yes,
It's crazy.
there's so many games.
Yeah. But I do remember that. I do remember the Apple Eden was technology. It wasn't like a magical, mystical thing. And then all of a sudden, you as in Assassin's Creed 3 could fly as a bird, and then as a bear, and then there's one other spirit animal, like a wolf or something. I forget what it was.
But you know what? And then also the combat. I started approaching combat a little bit slower.
Yeah,
And
I like
now,
it. I'm
now,
liking it.
now I love it. Now
I'm
I
liking it.
actually use the shield and wait until they attack and then do like one or two attacks. I'm not just rushing in, just swinging, nonsensical. So that right there, when when I use it, and dude, I got this. And then also upgrading like to the next and it's not tiers, you're just upgrading the shield to like it starts out, it can start out just like regular, and then
I
you can
love
upgrade
the
it to
loot. I
superior, and
love
then
how the loot is.
flawless.
Yeah, I love how the loot is.
You have to have metal ingots or whatever it is, and then you
Yeah,
get, dude, I haven't even been able to upgrade it. I'm at 46 hours in the game, and I haven't even upgraded to mythical yet, to
yeah.
like the highest. I haven't done that. So I'm just like, fuck.
And I like how
And
you keep it. I like how you have your dad's axe. And if I
yeah,
wanted to, I could keep that axe for the
you
whole
can
game if
upgrade
I
it. Yeah,
wanted.
you could
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah. And
It
I'm
means you're
starting
letting me
to,
gain something.
yeah, I'm starting to be able to overlook the in-game cutscenes. I'm starting to be able to overlook, because they're not as, they're not as good as
Well, like the
other games.
yeah, the side missions ones are bad, but like the alliance missions, they all have good cutscenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they have.
I'm starting to, it's, so that's, but like I said, I'm starting to really, I mean, I don't know what it is, man. Those alliance missions, like they're very catchy. Like they're very, like, instantly you're hooked, and you're like, I want to finish the mission. I want to keep doing it, and that is a thing that I think for me makes a very good game, is when the missions themselves, like each mission like, well, okay, one thing though, like the little side missions, like like the white
The mysteries.
dots. Yeah, I don't, those are, there's
See,
some that are okay.
I
That was
don't
what I'm like,
they're gonna be hit or miss. They're gonna be hit or miss. Like
yeah,
there was one I found of some guy. Spoilers. He had an axe in his head,
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't done that one. Yeah,
Have you heard
Dylan
about
and
that
Ricky.
one or no?
Yeah, Dylan and Ricky were telling me about it. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
He was just sitting there like talking to himself, like on a log, and you come up to him and you could completely ignore him if you want or keep going. And then he is like, hey, he's like completely out of it. So once you remove the axe from his skull, you can have this choice, or you can just leave him there. So you have that choice. So, but if you remove the axe, he dies, and it's like a mercy kill or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was another one I found. Um, this guy, this lady, I came across. It was like this wheat field or whatever, and then this guy off in the distance complaining about rats. He's like hacking wheat.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that one. I haven't done it, but I know. Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
It's interesting because I was like, he doesn't tell you how he wants you to get rid of the rats. So I'm trying to shoot the rats. I'm trying to light them on fire with my torch. I burn all of his hay piles of hay, thinking the smoke is gonna like drown him out, and he's still complaining about the rats. So then I walk
further down, and you see this one woman, right?
Yeah, this one
Another
woman, and she has
Mm-hmm.
cats. So I'm like, oh, so I have to somehow, and I ended up, I scared all the rats away, just like trying to run around. So there were no more
Mm-hmm.
rats left. By the time I brought the cats there were no more piles of them or whatever. So
Yeah.
nothing happened. So that I fast traveled somewhere else, and I'm going to go back to it. But just that little thing of there's no, it's such a weird concept. If you have a game and you take away the objective markers, and you take away,
And you have them, and you have people. Okay, no, figure it out.
you
Figure out
figure it
how to
out.
do it.
Yeah, you figure it out. And I'm sure some people will not like that because they want to be handheld or whatever the whole time. There's like, I want to know where to go, what to do. But if you want to just get immersed kind of in that world, and
Mm-hmm.
all the side missions, those mystery missions, they don't show up on your little task bar in your quest bar. They're not there.
No, yeah, you
I
have to. Yeah,
love that.
you have to go. Yeah.
I love how that's there because in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, it was
Yeah,
all of
I
it.
get what you're saying.
So
It's overwhelming. That part is what made That's what they did because
you're in the world. You're in the world
yeah.
instead of in a menu.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why, because a lot of people were saying that Assassin's Creed Odyssey with all the missions and how many, like, it's really cool, but it did at times it felt overwhelming, and you're like, okay, which this one, and then a lot of other missions will go undone because you don't do it, and then you're like 20 levels higher, and then it's just there's no point in doing it
Yeah.
because the gear that you get. So stuff like that I really like. And then something that I thought probably one of my favorite things in the game, and I don't know why. Well, when you're up, say like you're up on a like a synchronization point,
Yeah.
and you turn and you pan the camera around, you can see all the destinations that you can go to. Well, not all, but at certain distances you can see. Oh, there's this town, and it shows the name of it,
Yeah.
and then it shows that. I don't know why, but every game should have that. Every game. It's just it. And then and it's just simple. It's very simple. It's just a little line with a dot over it, and then you see, and
Yeah,
then the
the
name.
UI the UI is so simple, and so you're actually looking at the world instead of
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
the
I'm looking. Okay,
highlighted.
I'm looking over here. Okay, I can see. All right. See. So
Yeah,
that right there to me, I was like,
that's what I had to
thank
do.
you,
Yeah,
thank you.
I had to force myself to not put objective markers in Odyssey.
Mm.
I just had to go like, okay, that's east of where I'm at, and then I used the compass to go east. And then after a while, if you get so close, then it would pop up on the compass,
Yep.
like the height, the whatever. And so I would use that because if you put the objective marker down, it would be this huge highlighted thing, and you would just be staring at that, riding your horse, and then all of this beautiful scenery around you, you're not looking at.
Yeah.
So you're not really looking at stuff. Like I found myself like looking for reindeer because one chick in the original camp wanted you to find 3 reindeer antlers.
Yes.
So I was looking for so you're actually involved in your environment, and you're like, okay, there's like foxes in this area, there's deer
Yeah.
in this area. And then I like how the deer, so I watch hunting shows, even though I've never hunted, but I love hunting. I like how there's like multiple deers, and then there's a buck. And if you see a whole bunch of does, there's going to be a buck with horns. And then so in my head, I have this little like mini hunting game where I get off my horse and I try to stalk. Kind of like I did that in Red Dead Redemption as well, but that was more. Yeah, that was more because you had to your scent. in Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wish that game had, like the wind kind of thing. That would be really cool. But just the overall feel of the game is unreal. I took off um my shield and I put a dagger just to see like different animations. And
Yeah.
so if you obviously tap LB, you'll do the parry.
Yeah.
But you won't block anything with your dagger. But what you do, if you hold the LB, he'll do this like lunge attack, and then he'll dash backwards. He'll
Huh.
do a dodge, like so. I'm thinking every weapon that's different is going to have some kind of different special attack.
No, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
It
like,
does.
so because part of me wants to keep my shield and axe and then just carry that through the whole game. But now that I
Yeah.
switched up that once, I'm gonna
You're like,
go. I'm gonna go with my
you're
dagger.
interested. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
oh.
and then that ability where you can swap it in
Yeah. Yeah.
game
That's
real
really
quick.
cool.
I didn't. I was like, because when I saw that, I'm like, I'm never gonna use that because I'm always gonna have a shield to my left
Yeah.
and an axe to my right. I'm never gonna. Why would I swap? That doesn't make any sense. But then once I switched to that dagger, that kind of opened the whole thing up where I'm like, oh, I can play this whole game
Yeah.
differently if I want to. I can raid this city or this village and have a completely different setup. And I get real nerd. Look, I'm getting really nerdy with this game. I'm getting a little too nerdy. Anytime I go on a raid, I put the Viking helmet on. So
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you can hide it or whatever. So I take that off, and then once I open up the final chest or whatever, I take it off. And I wish so much that
You could see it.
It would just be like that. I was like, just little stupid things like
No,
that.
you know what? You know what's funny? What I thought would be really cool. What I thought would be really, really cool is maybe in the next Assassin's Creed or some other game, instead of having like everything in your inventory, you go back to your base and you have
Or your
you
boat.
have
They had the boat in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Remember they had the boat?
yeah
Or
yeah
you
yeah
its blade or whatever?
no
Yeah.
So you go say like you have your own barracks or your own home in your settlement, and you have to go in there, and then you have that. Then you look at your wall, then you have your inventory, and you have to select what shield, what weapon you want in order to go on this raid. But you can't while you're in the world. If you're outside of your settlement, you can't switch. You have to stick with that. So then when you want to switch, you have to go back. Or like say like same thing with armor. For me, that would be even more immersion. I know a lot of people would bitch complain. Oh my god, it's dumb.
It would be a cool option. Like if you want like
Yeah,
a realistic option.
switch it.
You
Yeah,
can
have it switch it on.
You can have it both. You can have it both ways.
Because
So,
dude, that would just make it so much cooler because you could literally have a full wall in your settlement of just
gear.
your axe. Yeah, just gear. Like fuck. Like I don't think any really game has ever done something that simple. Like it's so simple, but it's so cool. I don't really think I think Cyberpunk might do something like that. I think. I don't know.
According to the rumors.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah, I like I said, I had to change heart, and I'm really glad I did. I'm really glad. I'm really, 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 really glad.
I know because when you were talking about the combat, and I'm like, I love the combat. It's simple, but it's it's complex in a way. You were talking about the bow. You not liking the bow and arrow.
Well, like the bow, I was able. I don't know. For me, it's just okay.
The weak points, I love that.
No,
There's
the weak points is really cool.
Things where you're not always shooting for headshots.
Well, it's just for me. I don't know. It's just harder for me to aim at the. It's just weird. Like it's hard to
at
aim
the weak
with
points. Yeah, like low, yes, because it naturally goes to the middle. Like it has that aim assist.
Yeah,
all games do.
But even then, I don't know. I find myself having trouble. Like okay, like with like Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm not saying that I'm not comparing, but I guess you can because with Ghost of Tsushima,
it's okay to compare.
It's a little bit easier with Ghost of Tsushima, like aiming the bow, or like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like I can aim where I want and pinpoint a lot easier than with Valhalla, and I don't. And that was the same with Odyssey and Origins. I don't.
Have you tried turning the aim assist off, where it's just
so? Yeah, I did that, and then it was even harder.
Too wild.
Yeah, it was too, and like I don't know. It's just weird. It's like that. For me, it's like that. If I have to like really play it and then like kind of focus on what the real problem is, it's almost as if like if I use a joystick and I barely move it, like my screen, my character's aim just
drastically changes.
It's hard to explain, but it just feels, it doesn't feel
Is there aim
smooth.
sensitivity? Is there aim sensitivity?
There is, but I don't know. It's just
for the
weird.
bow?
It's weird. Like it doesn't feel smooth. It feels like kind of rugged and
Jerky.
That's a good it's not smooth. It's not smooth as like I said, like with Horizon Zero Dawn, I can use bow, bam, hit, bam, hit, bam, hit. With Assassin's Creed, like I said, with all the last three, I'm like okay, well, so what I had to do is I had to turn on the aim assist on full, so then I can just snap to them real quick and then just because for me, like trying to aim, I'm like it's really odd. It's really really odd. I like the feel of them.
Did you like Grand Theft Auto's aim thing where you just like you locked on and then went up a little bit for a headshot? Because that's basically how I feel.
You could do that. It just kind of snaps. Yeah, that. But and then for like the animals, like I have a hard time with the animals going hunting. How the bow is, it makes me not want to hunt. How the bow is, it makes me not want to do that. Oh, another thing too, the wolves are way too strong. The wolves are way too strong in that game. I don't understand why they're so damn strong. Like there'd be like 4 or 5 of them, and then I literally have to hit them like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, no, it shouldn't be like. And
don't get surrounded by wolves. If you get surrounded
no, that's
by
what
wolves,
I'm saying. Like like
you're gonna
that's
die.
that's usually how it is. Like, and I understand that, but it's not. It doesn't have that hyper realism like Red Dead does. That's not the thing. Like in Red Dead, if you get mauled by a mountain lion, like if it jumps on your back, you're dead. Like that's it. And I understand that. That's fine. But with this game, that's not how it is. I can sit there and hack at like an enemy and hit him like 2-3 times, and he's dead. Wolves, 4 or 5 hits. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like
they're big wolves. They're big wolves.
They're normal size.
It's the same thing as like for polar bears. Like polar bears are like, but it depends on what level you are.
Well, they're huge.
Yeah, but
bears are huge. That's fine. And actually, the bears are a little bit to me. I mean,
easier.
I haven't really fought too many bears, but
I fought 2 polar bears at the beginning of the game, and
it's just for me also it's like because I was on a mission. I'm going on a mission. I was really really wanting to get to my destination. I'm like really interested, and then I get stopped, and I'm sitting here for fucking 10 minutes fighting wolves. I'm like, this is dumb. Like I'm not. No, it should be fairly easy to kill.
Did they knock you off your horse? Is that why?
Yeah, they knocked me on my horse, and I'm like, oh my god, and I got to get up, and I got to sit there and fucking and then they, I don't know. It's that's a little.
You can like run away, call your horse, and then pick up and take off.
Dude, no, that's another thing. I did that too. I mean, it could have been just like a glitch, but I kept riding. I was riding for like 5 minutes, and there was one wolf just still chasing me. I'm like,
they do that. They stalk. They stalk for miles. I've seen videos of them like just.
Well, yeah, but like I said, if you want that hyper realism, that's not how the game is. With Red Dead, it is, so it makes sense.
Well, to me, like that's the mindset that I'm in. So if there's a whole bunch of wolves, like if there's one, I'll go after them, or 2. But if there's a whole bunch, I'm trying to take them out individually. I'm not letting all of them.
And then they'll do that attack that you can't, like they'll be surrounding you, and like I understand like wolves surrounding. I get that. Like I said, I understand that.
They do that, yeah.
But it's an axe. I'm hitting it with an axe. It has no armor. It's all flesh. Like it should die within like 2, maybe 3 hits.
But then you have the whole aspect of leveling up in the game. You have that system that also ties into the wolves.
Well, so yeah, of course.
If you're in an area that's like 130, and I'm, what am I, like 70 right now? The wolves are going to be more difficult to kill, just with the people.
Maybe a little more difficult because wolves are not. They're not very specific enemies. Like you get you kill like the live. The animals in the game are for you to get materials, so then you can trade them in and all that. Okay, whatever.
So that would be an interesting like game design decision. Like have the wolves be like the same level as you are, and take 2 or 3 hits or whatever to kill. Like, and then it also depends on like where you hit them. But you can use like your specials and just get rid of them.
Well, yeah, the specials definitely help. But that's what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to use my abilities to get rid of wolves. Like that's not
I always thought
that's not a thing.
If you have like those wolves, if you brought out your torch, they won't attack you.
Yeah, but like
they're afraid of it or whatever. Like that, like it would kind of put them off like different actions.
Now the legendary animals, I understand that because
they're gigantic.
Yeah, they're huge. Like I mean,
I just but like I said, my hunting cabin or whatever.
Yeah, that right there.
Cats.
But like that right there with the legendary animals, I understand because they're more like a boss. So and
Yeah,
that ties into the game. Like there are some animals that are giant, but not that big. Like that ties into the more little more fantasy kind of portion of the game.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what like the game is not. There's some realism and then there's not, which is fine. But like like I said, when I'm able to literally sit there and hit a human being with a shield and fucking armor on 2-3 times, and he's basically dead, and then a wolf comes and I'm sitting here hacking at it, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what do you take in mind where you go and what the power
Yeah, of
level for that
course. Yeah, of
area
course.
is, though?
But and then another thing too is like even if I'm in like a level of like say like my power is like 50, don't matter.
Well, what area are you in? Like the 20, the beginning part of it is like a 20. Because I'm sticking to. I'm not going into an area that I'm not the level of
No, no,
right now.
like I told you,
Yeah.
I'm like my power level right now is like 126, and so the areas, most of the areas that I'll go is like a 50, maybe a 90, and the wolves come and I'm sitting there hitting them 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes 5 times. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, no, and then like I said, but then I go and I attack regular, just regular humans, and it's cool because it'll show you. It'll if they're they'll have like it shows their health bar and then it'll have like a little diamond and it'll be green. That means that you overpower them.
Yeah.
You're way higher than them.
They're supposed to be easy.
Yeah, they're supposed to be easy, and then you hit them a couple times and they're dead, and that's where you get that power from. And then wolves come, and you're like, okay, so they like I said, they have no armor, they have no shields, like
They're the real enemies in the game.
I guess so. Like, come on. So but like I said, it's not too big of a deal, but it's just it can get kind of annoying. Like I said, for me, it was like I was really into this storyline, and I'm going, and I'm on my way. I'm riding my
But now
horse,
you
and
have a
then
wolf story. Now you have a wolf story that you'll probably never
but it's a
forget.
negative one. It's a negative one.
But it's okay
Negative.
for I think even if it's like a negative story, like I'll always remember in Sea of Thieves playing with Corey, like losing treasure, like in certain instances because it was a negative experience. And if we would have just been successful and turned it in,
But see, no, see that's different though. That's part of the game. I understand the wolves are part of the game, but that's part of the game. That makes sense. That because it's like because that can happen to everyone. And like I said, it makes sense because other people you can do the same thing. But when it comes to like I said, when it comes to the wolves, I shouldn't be able to defeat enemies that I'm higher level than with ease. And then wolves come and I'm sitting there like I'm sitting they're hitting me and I'm like chunks of my health are going down. I'm like no, no, that it should be a little. I don't know. That's just
now how would you like think about that as like a video game developer? So you're making a game and people like to level up. That's like a thing, like
yeah,
a game
of
mechanic
course.
in a video game. But then say like in Red Dead you don't level up.
It's because of that it has that hyper realism, like what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
if you get shot, I mean, even that you can get shot, you can absorb some bullets and you're like good.
Yeah.
But like I said, with the animals, like because I remember I was on Red Dead. I was walking. I actually killed these guys, and then a fucking cougar came and it literally jumped in my head and was scratching and biting me, and I died. And I was like, oh my god. Like that right there, that's fine. But like I said, like there's no, it doesn't make sense for me. Like I said, it doesn't make sense for me to be able to, at the level that I'm at, my power
Yeah.
level, be able to attack humans with armor and shields and whatever with ease, and then a pack of wolves comes and I'm sitting there struggling with it. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Now, like I said, legendary animals, that's a different story. That's fine.
Could it be the
They're
way you're
gods.
fighting the wolves, you think? I'm going to harp in on
No,
this wolf thing.
like I said, I have like that's what I'm saying. If I want to defeat them fast, I have to use my abilities, and
Okay.
I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to. It should be bam, bam, bam. They're dead, or like like in my abilities. If I use my ability, because it causes more damage, it should be one hit and they're done. And it's not, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make because with the enemies, the human enemies that I'm fighting, usually with the if I use my abilities, it's a one or two hit, and that's
Yeah.
it.
It takes a big old chunk off. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where, like I said, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just
It's a minor annoyance, but like like from me, I like to think about it from a game developer's point. Like try to imagine myself like how would I get rid of the negative aspects of a video game for like if I were a game developer and I would listen to you say those things,
Mm-hmm.
how could I like? Would you make a game with no leveling system like Red Dead, or would you make how you said the leveling system only applies to human characters, or would you make just the enemies completely different? Say like with like a light you have to attack a character with a light shield differently than you would one with like a big old heavy shield. Like there's different. You
Well,
know what I mean? Like how?
I get what you're
So
saying.
I don't
Well,
know.
see, okay, so if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna have the animals like wolves scale to your level, then you have to do that with all the animals, like the deer. And it should if that's it should take a couple arrows to kill a deer, but it
What
doesn't. It takes like one,
what
depending on your power. I'm guessing
your
depending on your
bow?
power level.
What bow? What kind of bow are you using? Are you using the hunter
Uh,
bow, the predator bow, or
No,
the
see, no, it's the
light
one
bow?
where it's fast. It's the one where it's fast. So even if just one of the, because I know that's weaker because it's faster, you can shoot it faster. But even with that one on a deer, it's a one hit because of my power level.
Okay. Yeah. So because I'm using the hunter bow, and I 2 arrows
Yeah,
kills a wolf.
because it's a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But for me, I like to use the quicker one,
Okay.
because it's easier for me, because of the aim. It's easier for me to kind of to kill.
Okay.
But plus I haven't actually. I've only found one bow with the before, and I upgraded that to flawless, and then
And
that was also
I love
the quick bow.
I love how there's not a lot of gear in the game. I love
No,
how
but see,
the
there
whole,
is,
but
but
it's
it,
not.
it's
It doesn't overwhelm you. Like
yeah, yeah,
if I
yeah,
were to
it's yeah,
play, I think I play like 15 or 20 hours. I think I'm not too sure. I have to go back and look. But in Odyssey or Origins, we would have hundreds. Would you? We would have hundreds of pieces of armor that we're discarding, dismantling, and I love how that's not part of the game anymore. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of looking
yeah,
in menus. I want to
yeah.
be in the world. I don't want to be in all that stuff doing, micromanaging a whole bunch of things. I want to
No,
get in
yeah,
and get
yeah.
out
It's
and get into the game.
yeah, and I can. So that's what I like too. Is I've only found one hammer, like one-handed hammer. I've only found
Mm-hmm.
one. I've
Yeah,
only
I
found
think
one
I
one
found one.
spear.
Yeah.
It's a spears too. I've only found one of those, and a flail. Like I've only found one, and I know there's going to be more. And another thing that I really like is in the skill tree. You can find there's certain abilities that you, well, not abilities, but skills that you can get to where you're better with a certain
Weapon.
weapon. And I'm like, oh my god, like faster speed or anything like that. Like, thank you,
So
yes,
if you
yes,
want to specialize in a certain thing or two
yeah,
different weapons, you can do
you
that.
can. Like,
Yeah. And I love how you can reassign whatever you want. So
yep, you can reset everything and then just
I
and
wonder if
then
you
do
can
it.
level up so much to where you just get everything. I don't know if that, because that
I know,
skill tree is huge. It looks,
dude.
and I,
Like I said, I'm at 126, and I'm like, I have to zoom out. I'm like, fuck. And
it,
you're up to 3, 4, and dude,
it
this
just
is
keeps
this is
going.
just the beginning of the game. I guarantee they're gonna make even more, especially with the DLC and all that. I don't know how they're gonna do
I don't
that,
know if
but
they're going to add all that stuff into it. I mean, the game's already pretty big as it is.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was on the mic with Dylan and Ricky, and uh Ricky said that he heard it was like 95 plus hours. I was like, I don't know about that. And then Dylan looked it up. He said that it'll take the average person 60 to 80 hours to complete. And I don't now, I can't remember if it was just the main story or if that was everything. I don't know, but
Um,
I don't know. I don't know. But
I'm going through
going
this game slow. I'm going to enjoy it.
yeah.
I'm
Here
I'm
he
gonna try to do everything in the game.
So
I love
here's
the game.
here's one thing. Okay, I got to talk about. I'm switching over to Cyberpunk. One of the rumors that's been coming out. Well, I should say leaks because I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed. One of
Cyberpunk's
the leaks.
1,000 hours of game.
No, no, yeah, no, like 100 plus hours. I was like, what? That's what they're saying. That's what the leak
The
is
game's
100 plus.
the
I was
game's
like, well, yeah, after what 8 fucking years of fucking development, it better be that.
well, I'm like, because is there a point when it's too much video game?
Well,
Like, who's gonna finish? Like, what percentage of actual gamers that buy that game are gonna complete it? 20?
Well,
15?
that's what that's the thing. But I think that's what people really like, especially since if they kind of had to wait a decent amount.
Yeah, like games like that we'll wait for. All the Grand Theft Autos we'll wait for. We don't mind waiting 5, 6, 7 years for a really good game. It doesn't. If they
Like,
put that kind of
so
effort into it, like us as a gaming community, I think we'll buy it just on faith.
yeah, but there was this one. I don't know who the streamer was, but he I've been hearing that because they already have like the hard copies out. They already have the hard copies at certain stores, and they're they're just waiting for the. But I heard that because I don't know if you heard that like Walmart, like people were stealing PlayStations from Walmart, and then I heard that some people stole like Cyberpunk from certain stores or whatever it was.
If you
And
go online with that game, you're
you're
banned.
done. You're
Your whole
you're banned.
system's getting bricked.
Yeah, basically brick. And but this dude, he streamed it, and then here I have this the
he
image.
Streamed what? He streamed
he
the
streamed
game
Cyberpunk.
playing.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it said okay. So this it's on Reddit. It said Cyberpunk game. So I'm guessing it's one of the developers that whatever. It said somebody was able to get their hands on Cyberpunk 2077 early for their PS4, and idiotically, they said we're idiotically streamed it
on Twitch.
Yeah, he said first, or they said first, you aren't missing much of anything, and the game appeared to run fine on PS4 from what I saw. There were some oddities in the visuals, but I actually believe that's due to his stream quality. Also, he doesn't even play the game. And it's nothing we haven't seen before. They said it's just him and his friend rambling and giggling for 20 minutes, and then his stream ends apparently. But he did play
shit off real quick.
It says this is not going to be the last leak, and I'm sure more people will get their hands on the game. Make sure you stay clear of spoilers, everyone, because I would like to see everyone enjoy this game. On a final note, if leakers start claiming how buggy the game is, keep in mind that this is without the Day Zero patch.
Yeah.
And these discs were printed in September. Yeah. These discs were printed in September or earlier. So the QA testing from then on to the December 10th release date is going to be massive, and performance/bug issues are known to improve massively during those time periods. Yeah. So that's good. That's that's from Reddit.
21 days they needed.
Yeah, it's so so
I'm excited for that. I'm not going to have Valhalla done by Cyberpunk. I don't know what.
Oh no, Valhalla, no.
There's too many. Too many. I'm going to shoulder shrug. Too many games out.
And then there's another game coming out that's called Immortal Phoenix Rising. And that's more of it's an RPG, but it looks a lot like Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's another game that you need to fucking play, but that's on Switch.
Well, I played it a little. Danny my little brother, he let me borrow his Switch, and I played it. I loved it. It was awesome.
The game is, dude. That game right there.
Too many games. I can't play like. I know. I'm involved in the whole Xbox ecosystem and everything.
Well, of course. So
I know that. I play games there, and I would rather play. I thought, well, I'm gonna play this like if I'm in the car or if I'm on the toilet. You know what I mean? Like, perfect ideal time is like, oh, I'm on the toilet, I'll play. But I honestly don't want to play video. I found out I do not want to play video games in those instances. I want to relax. I want to sit on like a comfy chair, comfy bed, or whatever, and play video games. And I, for some reason, don't want to play a handheld device. But that's what the Switch is for. Like, the Switch is supposed to be the main.
Well, then you have the docking station, and you just
I know the docking station, but that's not how. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my simple mind. I don't know what it is.
Eventually, man, you're gonna have to play these games. There's so many games that you're missing out on, man. There's so many.
I can't play.
I know, but like I said, man, like
Spider-Man,
like Dylan,
Last of Us 2, all those.
Dylan is the only other person, finally, that I was able to talk to about Horizon Zero Dawn. And like I told you, like Dylan, he beat God of War. But he still has to beat Spider-Man. He still has to beat Ghost of Tsushima. He still has to beat Last of Us. He'll start a game and then like get like halfway, not even halfway, and then stop playing. But Horizon Zero Dawn, the moment he played that game for like a week, he literally played it for a week straight. That was the only game he played, and he couldn't stop fucking playing it. And like I said, like Dylan,
I heard it's a really good game.
Dude, you don't know.
You just want me to play so I can talk about it with you.
No, I know, because I don't want to spoil anything because it's so good.
I know. I heard the story's pretty good.
No, literally, like I said,
I'll play it one day. I'll play it one day. It's
Zelda,
on PC.
God of War. Zelda, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Those games are basically perfect. They're basically perfect.
Perfect, huh?
Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, there's some very, very minor things about Ghost of Tsushima, but like I said, it's.
Overall,
it could be overlooked.
Overall, great game.
But and then of course Ghost of Tsushima, they're like, hey, we're gonna add a co-op. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh fuck!
I'm gonna play more of this.
Geniuses.
Okay, we got about 12 more minutes left. I want to get your
4:15.
I want to get your ideas on a few overall video game general topics. Games going up to $70.
I agree. Yeah, what I heard was it's been like I want to say the range. I can't remember exactly the how many years, but it's been like I want to say 8 to like 11, 12 years since the games have
I
gone
think
up.
that I heard something like 15 years, something like that. Like
See, there you go, even longer. So yeah, it's time. It's fine. It's fine.
Now, would you say it depends on the game? Because
Well,
like
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah. That's why I like Steam. That's why I like Steam because a lot of games, they're like 30, 40, and then like the AAA games are 60. But if you want to play a game on PS5, it's probably going to be 60, $70, even though it shouldn't be. So that's the whole thing. But that's getting into PC. But
yeah,
anyways,
but like the type of game. So if you buy like Cyberpunk, like
$70.
that game's worth $70.
Yeah.
As it was on Amazon for 50.
There you go.
So that's insane that game's $50, but then Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is 8 to 12 hours,
I don't know about that.
Isn't it $70? I want to say.
I'm pretty sure it's 70.
I want to look it up here for a second. But like, do you agree that it depends on the game?
Yeah. Okay. For instance, what the hell is it called? Oh my god, I can't remember the Star Wars flying fighting game.
Squadrons.
Yeah, Squad $40.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's not really that big of a game. Makes sense. If it was $60, I would have got my money back. If it was $60 and I played and it was just that, I'm like, I'm getting my money back. I'm not playing. I'm not because $40. I thought it was going to be bigger. I mean, I didn't realize that. Yeah, $40. I should have known. I mean, it was cool, but it's
a small little multiplayer game. If you want to fly around in a TIE fighter and shoot, and shoot shit in space, that's a perfect game. Miles Morales, it says PS5 is $50. So that
okay, 50. Okay, that makes sense. I
don't know if that's like the Black Friday.
It could be
because the Black Friday sales are going on right now. Because the PS5, like the Gold Edition or the Ultimate Edition, is $69.99.
The Gold Edition, okay.
So I
don't. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe they
realize if it's $50, that's fair.
Because it's a small. Like I'm not paying. Like, would you want? I heard some people talking about it. Video game personalities, and they were talking about these big AAA games that take 5 or 6 years to make, and they're 80 to 90 hours. Would you just want the game like a Mass Effect game every 2 years that's 30 hours, 20 hours? That's more condensed, that's more, or is that the kind of game, like, do you already have it in your head that Mass Effect's this huge epic journey that I go on?
Yeah, no, yeah, because it would have to be a game. It would have to be a game that we've never played before,
like a new IP. Okay.
Yeah, because if I were to do that, because we've played all three of the, and I played Andromeda. A lot of people didn't like Andromeda.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
My little brother Danny kept complaining. He loves Mass Effect, and so when that game came out, he played it on day one. And I guess there was a lot of bugs or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember.
It was crazy. I guess at launch, but I played it like a year and a half after it came out.
It was fine. Yeah.
And it was. I was like, this game's not bad or whatever. You weren't there. You weren't there.
It's like No Man's Sky in the very, very beginning.
Yeah,
of the game.
Or the first Destiny. Like it's just completely. Or Sea of Thieves. Still got to try to get you to play that. Corey wants you to play.
Now, I can't play anything else besides Valhalla.
Yeah, I don't want to play anything else besides Valhalla either. I streamed with Corey the other night and played Sea of Thieves, and we had a good.
The entire time you're thinking Valhalla.
I'm just sitting there like listening to the soundtrack of Valhalla on like YouTube on my phone, just But, okay. So I want to talk about my Series X. What I do I have NBA 2K20 videos I put up on YouTube, and how I capture them is I stream it to my PC through the Xbox app. You can connect. And do you know how, like when you were over my house?
Yeah.
It's basically using your computer as a display.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the app or whatever, you can just record whatever's on your screen. And you go, and then I can take that, edit it, and do whatever. Well, the Xbox Series X, you can't stream it to your PC. You can't use it as a monitor. And
that is a little weird.
It's just an option that my old console can do it, but my new one can't. Why? They haven't really released anything. They just there was one official announcement saying you couldn't do it. That it's not a feature. But I went on Twitter. There's dozens and hundreds of people bringing this up. They're like, this is how I play. My girlfriend sleeps, you know, and I when she goes to sleep and I come home or whatever, I use it as like a second monitor. There's all these different aspects to it, and I'm wondering. And I tweeted at of course it doesn't really matter. I'm a nobody, but I
Yeah.
tweeted at Xbox and like Phil Spencer. I'm like, hey, what's this feature? Is it? I haven't heard anything back from it. I even tried to tweet at some like IGN writers, seeing the Xbox people and trying to see if they do
Yeah.
anything about it.
Maybe it'll come later. Maybe like they
Yeah,
can do some sort of
maybe I
update.
won't
I
be.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know, but it's an interesting choice to have like all of these features, right? All of the Xbox features that are on the Xbox are on the One X. They're on the Series X.
Yeah,
All
all of them.
pretty much
All of them.
pretty much all of them. Like that's the whole point of like it's a seamless transition and this one feature that I happen to use so I can play the
Yep.
only basketball game I like. Because if you stream 2K, all the audio's gone because of the licensing music or whatever to it. It's not on there, and there's no option. And Cyberpunk, by the way, switching. Cyberpunk has a mode. It has a streamer mode. So
Mm-hmm.
all of the because Twitch is going through this huge legal battle where video games have licensed music that aren't like
Mm-hmm.
Twitch approved. You can turn on streaming mode and it will only play original Cyberpunk music. So but it won't be like quiet or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll allow streamers to not worry about that at all. It won't have that headache. You
Well,
won't
yeah,
get pulled or whatever.
that's a good that's cool. Cause yeah,
That's
a
just a
really
small feature in the
yeah
game
yeah
that
yeah
it's like they're actually thinking about that stuff. 2K, you can't even capture. If I capture footage of 2K, all of the audio's gone. It's just quiet. There's
yeah.
no basketball dribbling sound. There's nothing. There's
That's
no
weird.
yeah. There's only like whistles, like the referees. That's it. So I'm like at a lot. I love these basketball games. I know you couldn't give two shits about it, but
No, that's fine. That's a that's something
it's it's just
that's
an interesting
significant. Yeah, it's like
yeah like a
yeah.
video game like conundrum, like not conundrum but issue that you can't. Why can't they just have like Cyberpunk? Just have a thing with like licensed music off. I'm gonna turn it off, but then maybe they won't get a whole bunch of money. Like
Yeah, dude,
because they
Cyberpunk. Yeah, they've gone crazy with all the the things. Like they have actual cyberpunk music. That's you know what I'm saying? Like they've hired people to
to
make
make music for
specifically
their game, like
just for the game.
not like a trailer soundtrack or
No,
whatever.
no, no, no. Yeah, no, like
Music
actual music.
for like in a
Actual music.
club in the game. Okay, I want to talk to you real quick. I want to see if this is should be about 4 minutes. My Xbox Series X doesn't have. I can only listen to audio because my monitor doesn't have speakers. My headset. Okay, so I don't know why this came to me, but can you run your Xbox Series X through your Xbox One X? Because
That's right. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that's what you. I remember you were talking about that. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm wondering if I can get the audio, and then also I can stream technically because I would still be I'm still able to stream my One X to my PC. So would that be a workaround? Do you think that will work?
You try it.
I've yet to try it, but do you think?
I mean,
I don't know.
honestly, if it does work, the quality might be a little less
That's
because
what I'm wondering.
you're going through
But the Series
one
X has
system then another
4K. It has
into a
4K and it has 60 frames a second.
yeah.
It
But
has
if is it
abilities to do that. Does it
it'd
have
have to be
will the ray
specifically
tracing go through all the
it'd have to be
wires magically?
specifically
I don't know.
built. It'd have to be specifically built like that. So I mean, just try it. And, you never know. You could
I
see.
don't know. I don't
It'd
know.
be cool. It'd be pretty cool.
I haven't seen. I looked on. I looked online for comparison.
Look on
Just
YouTube
I did
if you haven't.
nothing.
Okay. Mm.
Nothing. I tried like Xbox Series
If it
X
works,
ran through.
record it on YouTube and put it up there. You'll probably get a
I don't.
couple hits.
Yeah, I'll probably get a couple dozen. But it's just it's an interesting idea. But like there'd be no point to it other than if people had this specific issue that I have with the audio, and then also streaming to PC. That's a very small percentage of gamers that have that issue.
Yep.
So, but that's besides the point. One other thing, Bethesda and Microsoft. What do you think about? I think personally they should keep it. They should do like timed exclusives.
Yeah.
But I don't think they should do like exclusivity with Fallout, with Skyrim, or whatever, because
No, yeah,
I want as
yeah.
many personally, I want as many gamers to play this as possible. But like, but will they? But as a company, you want the
People to
customers to
buy
buy your
your,
stuff,
yeah.
right? But do they even care about that with Game Pass? They just want people to buy Game Pass. They don't care if you buy their console.
Well, me personally, I think both. If you're a company like that, why not both? But what I think they should do, I think you're right with the Fallout. But what I think they should do is new IPs with Bethesda, make just brand new games that have never been made before, and then make those exclusive.
So like Starfield, that space game that they have.
Yeah, something like that. I think that me personally, because I don't know, we don't, we're not business people, but just as a, because I mean, just imagine that, imagine they have Game Pass, but then we also have Bethesda where we can make brand new exclusives for Xbox. Because I mean, if you think about it, people right now, I can't find an Xbox Series X. And the reason why I say that is because Microsoft, they're not putting them out. They said there's a shortage. Okay, well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
There's a shortage on
Like,
PS5s too.
No. There's not. That's what I'm saying.
There's not.
No, they're pushing. All I see is Walmart and Best Buy and Amazon PS5s. That's all I'm seeing is they're restocking PS5s. I'm not seeing them. Restocking Xbox Series X's. That's what I'm saying, and I'm like, I don't like you're this is Microsoft here. They're like a couple $1 billion. They have like a couple $1 billion more, or they're worth a couple $1 billion more than Sony, and you can't push out more systems right now. Like, what do you like? Doesn't make any sense. So, like I said, I don't understand all of it. But if Sony's able to do it, and they're, what I'm saying, like they're able, like I said, all I'm saying is, well, we're going to have PlayStation 5 restock. I've like 3 times I've seen PlayStation 5s restock on Walmart, and then Best Buy recently restocked.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Series X, no, and I don't understand that. I'm like, but the reason why is because of me personally, is because of the exclusives on the PS5, and also a new UI and a brand new controller. With Series X,
the new
UI
UI,
is,
the new UI thing doesn't fly with me.
no, you are like a rare breed, but most people,
the UI
want
on the
that. Most
Xbox
people,
is way better than PlayStation, in my opinion. And just
well,
because,
have you seen the PlayStation 5
people,
though? They
the
do a pretty good job.
the crossbar. Oh yeah, because it's not shit. But like, Xbox always updates their Xbox Live experience. Always,
I know that.
consistently.
That's
Every
why
few months they update it. So
I understand that, but
if you're a PlayStation user and you've had shit and you've had this weird cross media bar thing that, the PlayStation, I've heard, has like if your download speed's 150 megabytes or whatever, the PlayStation won't let you download it that quick. Like, you have slow download speeds, you have all these different issues that the PlayStation has had, including their UI and how clunky
downloading, and then you have to install. I'm like,
yeah, and then
no,
how just
doesn't make any
weird
sense.
and overall that is. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, we're going to update it and it's not going to be complete shit. And then everyone freaks out because their expectations are so low. It's like, Xbox has been doing this since the 360.
Yeah, and what's funny too? Actually, my buddy Kyle, and if Kyle, he probably won't watch this, but whatever, I'm making fun of you. He tried to mention that. He tried to bring that up. He's like, oh, the UI for the Xbox. I understand what you're saying. I understand. He's like, the UI for the Xbox Series X isn't new. I'm like, what are you talking about? They've updated it for like years. What do you mean?
Yeah, every
and now,
like 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
They haven't updated the controller. They updated the controller in PS. I showed
it's already the best. You don't need to upgrade it.
I immediately went into argument mode. I was like, I pulled up a picture of the PlayStation, the old PlayStation controllers, and I slid my phone down. I was like, they've hardly ever updated their controllers. He's like, oh no, I'm talking about now, man. And then he's like, oh, I was just kidding. I'm like, no, you're not fucking kidding. You.
Well, it's like the Xbox original controller was shit. The big old Duke controller.
Yeah.
And then they made the S, which is kind of funny. The S, controller S or whatever. They still have that with the S and the X. They continued it on. People think it's a new thing, and I'm like, they've been doing that since the beginning of Xbox. But that's besides the point. But it's they found a good form factor, and they've just made small increments. Like, you don't change what people went to Xbox for the first person shooters originally because the controller was so good.
Yeah.
The PlayStation, as far as the controllers, just caught up now, and I heard their controller is amazing now. But then they're like the haptic feedback, the rumble. But then also I hear PlayStation fans say, well, how many times have we heard that? And then none of the developers actually use, like the Astrobot or whatever game like supposedly uses it really well. I haven't played it. I want to just to see the controller.
Yeah.
But if you're starting out with shit and you kind of go to mediocre to good or whatever, people are going to freak out about it. The new UI, because it has new sparkles and it's smooth, because it's never been smooth. It's been smooth on the Xbox for a while now. Like it's good. Like you have hiccups and just with everything, but I don't understand.
No, yeah, that I agree with. That see, you and I, we agree on that, but it seems to me like the majority of people,
like casual fans that don't pay attention, that just play Call of Duty.
My God, yeah, the simplest. I still haven't bought it, like I said, and I'm not.
You're gonna buy it soon. You're gonna buy it soon.
No, maybe like a year from now when they've actually updated. Dude, even Dylan, he's already getting tired of it. He's like, dude, he's like, because there's these meta weapons that like the M16
have a hate-love relationship with that game.
Well, I mean, to me, it's seeming more toward that's leaning towards more hate because, like, but anyways, like I said, Dylan, he's starting to get tired. He's like, dude, he's like, this is dumb. Like, these weapons are completely unbalanced, and I'm like, I don't. But like I said, that's just what Call of Duty does. That's what their companies do. They put up this shit content, and people are like, oh my God, Call of Duty, and they freak out, and I'm like, oh my God, you idiots. So that's just how it is. That
is how it is. That is how.
But yeah, that's why. But like I said, maybe a year from now, when the game is, if it's better, if they finally fucking updated the game. Like I said, and another reason why I'm not buying it now is because Treyarch, any Call of Duty game company, they take for fucking ever to update their game, and I'm like. Why that right there? That gets into the whole. There are companies game companies who just don't care. Who just like for instance.
I don't think it's that they don't care, and we're a little over an hour, so we're gonna have to wrap up now. I think they have scheduled updates. I don't think it's like
they need to stop having that because
they might have like an emergency thing, but
they need to have like a hot fix.
Yeah, but I think the hot fixes are for smaller companies. I think. That are more agile, that can make these moves, but like a big corporation that's making, that are making Call of Duty, they're hundreds of millions of dollars that go into this game. They have a set schedule, and update 1 is going to come out this month. Update 2 is going to come out this month. And to someone, I think, who doesn't know or realize that, or we don't know their inner workings. Like if they're just willy-nilly, just like a random half-assing it, just like throwing whatever around, and if it sticks, then yes, they're pieces of shit. But we don't know for sure.
That's what it seems like.
They have a set schedule.
But yeah, even if they have a set schedule, so their answer is, oh, you just have to deal with how the game is right now and wait for the set. Like, that's worse. That's even worse. It's like, hey, fuck you. We have a set schedule in a month. Like, no, what do you mean? The game is like, these weapons are terrible. What do you mean?
Well, unless it's like a game-breaking bug, and I know like
that's fine. I understand that, but even then, I guarantee you, there's been thousands of people who have stopped playing Call of Duty because they've lost. I mean, there are their hardcore fans who don't care and are just mindless morons who just Call of Duty. I gotta get fucking 4th prestige. Like, oh my God, just mindless people who don't care. I'm like,
it's still a good like first-person shooter, but it's just not what everyone like says it is. It's not like the greatest.
Well, like IGN, I mean, like I've seen most reviews are more negative and the reason why is because with this new Call of Duty, they've pulled. I understand it's a different company, Treyarch, and then you have Infinity Ward who did the Modern Warfare, but you're telling me you can't share like game engines? Like, come on, like what? Like that doesn't make any sense. So Treyarch, like. The reason why is because they pulled back. Even the graphics are not as good as the previous Modern Warfare. The gunplay isn't as good as the previous Modern Warfare. And even with the other Modern Warfare, I would still rage at that because there's just a damage output, hit detection. With this one, to me, it's even worse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I can't speak too much about Call of Duty because I just played the Warzone. I downloaded the 100 gigabyte.
And don't. Okay, I'm not going to get started on that.
I heard somewhere it's like 170 gigabytes or something, like something crazy.
It's because of the in-game cinematic cutscenes. No. Sorry. It's because of the cinematic cutscenes. because they make fucking 40 of them. And I remember real quick, and I know the reason how I know that that's why they're so big. I think I told it was you. I told
it's those video files. Yeah, those huge.
I think I told you about
Huge
that.
video
Anyways, I'm
files.
not going to repeat myself because I probably did tell you. But anyways, so yeah, that's but yeah, we'll wrap it up there because like I said, we get to.
I love talking to you about Call of Duty. You get so freaking upset about it. It's so funny.
Man, I swear to God. Like I said, man, it's just mindless running. Oh, jump, and I have full accuracy. Nope. Can't do it. Can't do that shit anymore.
I have perfect pinpoint accuracy as I'm jumping and doing
in
a
the
180.
air. I'm like,
but anyways,
no.
Shouldn't be that way.
But then there are people like, I love it.
But hey, man, more power to them. And those companies,
more power to them.
They will keep taking their money.
And then even I know. Even Kyle, he was having a great week. He was playing Call of Duty weekend. He's like, dude, I'm having a great time. And then like during the middle of last week, he came to me. He's like, dude, I don't understand what's going on with these weapons. I'm like, I know. That's why I got rid of the damn game. So so it's like people like have fun with it, and then like they keep playing it. And they're like, what's going on? What the fuck? Like this is ridiculous. So, anyways, all right, Chase.
All right.
Love you
so much.
This
has been episode 3 of the Video Games and Nonsense podcast with Chase Carter and
Raymond Woods.
We'll have another one next week, and appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much.